As a highly decorated soldier, at least in my own mind, the world would now be waiting for me. Going west again, cross-border this time, there was France. It was time to spread my wings, and could there be a better place than Paris? A massive city, big traffic, sensational culture, innovative architecture, a subway system to reckon with, and air traffic to truly international destinations. That's where I wanted to be. The missing link? Oh yes, I was kicked out of French class, remember? Well, don't forget, despite my mangelhaft in English, I was able to talk to the Canadian soldiers, right? So couldn't I just go and learn French there? My parents agreed to paying for an 8-week group course. By then, I'd have to find a job. Deal. Business friends of theirs arranged for a little studio in the 8th arrondissement, smack downtown. I packed up my Volkswagen Polo and off I went. Yes, traffic was a bit more complicated than in the Black Forest or at the eastern border, but I eventually arrived. Remember, there was no GPS at the time. A folding map, my gut feeling, and some luck got me where I needed to be. My entry test turned out to be a disaster. Apparently, there was no ground zero class I could be assigned to. In order to bring me up to par, I was granted individual lessons for 1 week, and my instructor was Denise. Man, did I ever make an effort to learn my vocabulary. Particularly effective was her real-life teaching of everyday situations. She took me shopping, opened my first bank account, and taught me how to order French pastries and café au lait while enjoying sitting outdoors. Now that was something I could work with. Part of my new group was Jens, here with our new teacher Monique. Jens, with his northern German sense of humor and quick tongue, was the ideal learning buddy for me. We enjoyed both school and savoir-vivre in the different arrondissements, the obligatory petit pain au chocolat after class, and our growing knowledge of the subway system to get around. The movie to go to at the time was La Boum with Sophie Marceau. What a sweet way to learn a language with a large bag of popcorn. Since our budget was limited, we enjoyed Restaurant Chartier a lot. Very reasonable prices, a steak frite to kill for, the waiters could carry up to 8 plates, and the charge would be written on a paper tablecloth. A nightcap at Harry's New York bar, and I was in love. Life was good. To take the edge of my workload from school, I asked strangers on the subway to help me with my homework. My siblings and a friend would come to visit, and I was proud to show them around town. I've had it made. The eagle has landed. I was on fire. After only 6, instead of the 8 weeks prepaid language course, and against the advice of my teachers, I crafted a letter to the 10 best hotels in Paris, letting them know that I now was available to receive offers for employment. My references were attached so they could see what I had to bring to the table. And then, nothing. Well, I guess I have to follow up. Hôtel de Crillon, Place de la Concorde, was close to my place, so I dressed up and entered the establishment. Everything went great until I disclosed the nature of my visit to the concierge. I was politely asked to direct my concerns to the person at the staff and delivery entrance around the corner, where my dossier was slipped into a plastic bin labeled applications. My walk home was somewhat quiet. Something dawned on me, and old memories started to resurface. Now was the time to regroup, because going back home with the tail between my legs was not an option here. During the next 2 weeks, I swallowed my pride, virtually begging for a job. Any job, anywhere. I ended up working as a breakfast busboy at the Sheraton Convention Center. Up at 4:30 in the morning, 45 minutes en métro, and then clearing hundreds of dishes. But at least I had a job in Paris. Then the miracle happened. Mr. Wolf Walter, the German Directeur d'Hébergement at the Méridien Étoile, Europe's largest hotel with over 1,000 rooms, had my application on his desk and asked me for an interview. He truly was my guardian angel. He liked me and actually offered me a position at front desk. One caveat, however: I had to become proficient in their latest operating system. Computerized processes for all reservations, check-ins, statistics, housekeeping, and accounting. An absolute novelty at the time. To master the task, I had 1 week. I took all the manuals home and practiced with a hand-drawn keyboard day and night. It was 10 years before Windows would be invented and all function keys had to be remembered. I would not let this opportunity pass by. Discipline and backbone was key now. And I did it. For over a year, I was a réceptionniste à l'Hôtel Méridien Étoile Paris, here with my colleague Philippe. After a while, it was smooth sailing at work. That's when I met Horst, who worked at the Interconti, also a man from the north with a great sense of humor. Jens, him and I became good friends, experienced Paris from all sorts of angles. Since we all had income, we now were able to enjoy the finer things in life. On sunny summer days, we tried to squeeze a spot at the famous Piscine de Ligny, a pool on a barge docked on the shores of the Seine. Trying to pick up girls at the famous Le Dix Bar Odéon, which still operates today, or attending hotel festivities. Me here at the Méridien Christmas party, trying to fit in. The absolute highlight, however, was my good relationship with our concierge Rudy. He would get us into top-rated nightclubs, posing as guests of the hotel, sometimes even into the famous Bain Douche, the French Studio 54 at the time. Wow, we were proud to get in there. Many years later, this professional relationship would prove to be of immense value. Of course, I couldn't have a clue at this point. Another trophy in my collection of dreams was a visit to Maxim's. The restaurant was rumored to be accessible only by special privileges. My key to success again was Rudy. He got me a table there so I could win a bet, which resulted in me being invited for dinner at the Tour d'Argent, an absolute classic in Paris. They specialize in duck, raised on their own farm, and each one served comes with its own certificate. Yes, we also visited the sites, culture, etc., but mainly the clubs were the center of our attention. Another year of professional duty ended. Upon my departure, I asked Mr. Walter for a reference letter in French, one in English, and another one in German. He smiled when we shook hands. Before clearing out my studio, Air France would take me to an interview in Munich, Germany. I had decided to become a professionally trained chef de cuisine.